Hi, I thought I'd do another video. If you've been following my blog for a while now, I think you well know that I am actually very fond of gadgets, but not just gadgets, but relatively speaking cheap gadgets that I find useful in my photography. So I thought I'd run through a few of them. Now this, first of all, this is my little one of my little tripods. It's a Newer, that's N-E-E-W-E-R. It's a metal construction, mostly metal and plastic, but most of it is metal. It's basically, it's very similar to a large size tripod in the sense of it's kind of like Honey I Shrunk a Tripod. So if I show you first of all, you've got this if I pull it right out, you've got this 3-section leg adjustment here, which you can lock off. So let's do that. Let's go down one more notch and back to there. Okay, so that's that bit, and then you've got 3 sections here. I extend them all. 3 leg sections. You can lock these off. There you go. That's locked now. Of course, you can adjust them independently, so you could go up just 1 section at a time, or you can go right back to there, which is shortest length. Okay, it's got a ball head on it as well, metal, as I say, and you've got the okay, first of all you've got the adjustment for the ball head, so so if I loosen that off you can go right back to there, so for for vertical shooting, portrait format shooting, and it comes with a quick release plate. Also you've got the centre section, okay, up to that height, so if you combine that, as I say, with the legs and the maximum height, that gives you a pretty good idea how the maximum height of the tripod. Okay, so that was that, and now I'll give you the model number as well. Let me just get that back down. Right, so the model number is, as I say, it's made by Newer, and somewhere on here, oh here we go, is the model number. It's M225 plus CK30. Now the CK30 bit is the ball head, because you can actually take that ball head off. It's just got a screw fitting at the top there. Tabletop tripod. Well, I think that's a pretty good description of what it is, and that is nice because it's very solid. It's quite a solid little tripod, that one, but of course it is a bit heavier than some of the ones that I in a way I prefer. Another example of that is this one. Now this is a slick Mini Pro DQ. That's just got these normal twist lock legs, and obviously you've got a locking, well it's not obvious, but you have got a locking nut here, which I've got, obviously I've done up pretty tight by the look of it. There we go. And a suction cup at the bottom here, and that locks off a centre column. Again, a ball head with a quick release plate. I've got a quick release plate mounted on one of my cameras. Now another thing I like about this one particularly is, yes, you can use it as a tripod, and it is lighter than the Newer one I showed you. But another thing that I like doing with this is using it as a chest pod. So get it to that orientation, get it against your chest, adjust the ball head to its nice, you've got a nice view into the viewfinder with the camera mounted on there, or move it down a bit to eye level, and you've got quite a nice chest pod there, which so it'll double up at that. So I find that a nice feature, and they're both compact. So you can see how small that one is, and it's lighter, it's plastic, all plastic construction. But I think this, yeah, the metal ball head, but apart from that the whole thing is plastic. Right, so I showed this recently as a picture, but I'll show it in the video. This is a relatively new acquisition. This is my JJC filter pouch or filter wallet, whatever, and it's got a, I don't know what they call that material exactly, but a sort of cloth type material there, with on the back here, and on the front you've got this sort of faux leather, plastic, whatever, finish to it. So that's got a Velcro strap. Undo that. There's your 3 filter pockets. and they're neoprene and they're elasticated, so your filters don't drop out, which is something I'm particularly fond of them not doing. Right, so that's that. But on the back of that one, you've got a nice little belt loop as well, same sort of material as the front there. So that's the filter pouch. That will hold 3 filters up to, I think it's 82mm. Right, next up, I've got this little thing. I've had this for donkey's years. Just simple on off switch on the side there. And it's a GPS data logger. It's a Holux, that's Holux, RCV 3000. I'm not sure they still make that model. And it will connect by Bluetooth as well, so you can actually connect it to your phone for downloading log files and so on, although it's got a USB connection on the side there for charging, and comes with, or came with, software. I've added my own Go Faster Stripes there, but they're not. They're actually, in case I drop this thing and I can find it. That is so useful. The battery goes for 8 hours probably, enough for a day out or enough for an average sort of trip out, and sync this with your camera. The important thing there is to get the time and date on your camera to, as accurate as you possibly can, because that's how it's going to match up. I use GeoSetter, which is free software which you can download, and that you can geotag or georeference your files. So if you're away somewhere unfamiliar and you take loads of pictures and you can't remember where they're taken, when you come to look at them over a period of time, that is the real benefit of geo tagging your photographs. So that little unit will do it. So I'm not sure they make that model anymore. They probably, I'm sure they make others, or you can get other makes like it. Again, I showed this in still pictures recently, but not in person. This is my tiny little Nikon Pics. Not a camera I've used for an awful lot. I can't remember the model. I think it's an A. No, I haven't marked it on there. Maybe they've marked it on the bottom plate, and again maybe they haven't, or I can't see in this light. But it's a little Nikon Pics. Now at the bottom here, I've added that little tripod, which of course you can square off, and it's so light it'll hold that easily. And that is made by Joby I think, I guess. And oh, it has got the model on it. It's Pics A100. Little big camera, 5x zoom and 20 megapixels apparently, but it's just shirt pocketable. But with the addition of that, it makes it quite nice for if you want to stick it down somewhere and do some timer shots. And the reason I think this works well with that is you can still access the memory card slot. You haven't got to take the thing off every time you want to put a battery in or a memory card, because they've mounted, as you can see, they've mounted the tripod socket right at the end of the base of the camera. So that's that. Another recent addition, something I've been looking for a while now, is this. I'm sure lots of you will recognise what it is. It's a remote control or invalid meter. It's a Rolei, or Rolei, R-O-L-L-E-I. I don't suppose it's got a model number on it as such, but because they do these in different for different makes. Now the difference is that this little adapter cable. Now mine's for an Olympus, because I use Olympus cameras, and it came with two. One which is to fit, so I've got it attached there, which fits all my OM and my pen camera, but also came with another little adapter cable for another model of Olympus, which I've never seen before. But if you've got a Canon or a Nikon or maybe a Sony, Fuji, whatever, then if you order up the right model, it should come with the adapter cable. So it's quite nice if you've got different makes and models of cameras you want to mix. You just buy the appropriate adapter cable. Anyway, back down to the main bit here. Okay, so you've got settings on here, so you can have, it says delay, long, interval, N, which is number, and a beep. So as you go through the menus in here, you can set it up for the delay being the time delay before it starts taking any pictures. So if you want to set it up as a 5-second delay or something like that, so from the minute it starts off, it will wait 5 seconds before it starts the exposure. So you set that setting however long you want it. Next setting up is what they're calling long, which is basically the length of the exposure. So again, you can set that up through the menu. So I want it 20-second exposure or whatever it happens to be. The next setting is interval, and that is the time between exposures. If you just got one exposure, then that's actually, I think, irrelevant. So, but that leads me on to the next one, which is N, which is the number of exposures. So you could set it up, for instance, using delay, long, interval and N, to say wait 5 seconds, for instance, take a 20-second exposure, and then wait 1 second or 2 seconds or whatever you want, and repeat up to the setting of N, which is in the same number of shots. So you could take 5 shots like that in succession. And the way you start it all off doing that is it's got a button on the top here which says timer, start, stop, which is pretty obvious. It's also got a beep setting. Now the beep setting can be annoying, but it can be quite handy as well. So it'll count down and beep on it. Now you can turn that beep off. Now on here there's a lock button, which if I press it, locks the display. So I can't change anything here until I unlock that. You'll also see that the display has a backlight on it, which is kind of nice if you're in dim lighting. There's the set button. That's for setting up, toggling through the options with this 4-way selector here, and setting so it'll toggle through hours, minutes, seconds, then on to the next setting. So from delay, then you'll go into long and you'll set the same for that and so on. But you don't have to do it by the timer. You can actually do it by just an ordinary shutter release here, so you can forget all about the timing and just use it as a straight release. Just press that shutter release button and if either hold it down or just press it once, depending on the length of your exposure. If you're in bulb mode, then you probably want to use the second option. If it's a long exposure, and slip that up, so push that down and push it, the whole thing upwards as I've got it here, and that will lock it. So if you've got a long exposure, you don't have to keep your finger pressed down on that button for 20 seconds or for 60 seconds or whatever. But if you're just taking one off and using it, just to fire the shutter up without long exposure, just press the button, take the picture. So that's, I say there is no model number, but it's made by Rolly or Rolli. It's just called the Rolli cable release. Okay, that's a few things. So I haven't got much else that I wanted to show you in the video. I might just show you something that I did for my Olympus TG5. This is my little waterproof, drop-proof, shake-proof, kick-proof, freeze-proof, whatever action camera. Now Olympus make, this is not an Olympus one, it's actually made by Forever Cam, lovely word, adapter, but they make their own. But this is metal, but the one that comes from Olympus I think is actually plastic, and that clips on the front there. That enables you then to use filters, lens hoods and so on. And in this sense I've added a you could add, say, I don't know, clear protection filter or something like that on the front, but I've added a lens hood. As you can see, it's a 52mm thread on there, whatever you're doing, and lens cap, metal hood. One, because it gives a bit of extra protection. Two, and its main purpose obviously is to act as a lens hood, and nice, in this case, nice bright yellow cap. So I won't lose it, he says, thinking that he might well lose it, actually, having said that and tempted fate. Okay, so there we go. That's just a few things that I thought I'd show you, and it's the first sort of gear type video I've ever done, so I hope you found it interesting and informative, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.